Kind of funny how the three of us always end up together, but yeah, looking forward to the match. Should be starting momentarily here. And there we go.
There we go. Oh man, starting out with a single rupee.
Okay, so Swerb is jetting for Kakariko here on the bottom route, while Jenja is going to visit his uncle first.
Yeah, immediate route divergence. Let's see what the tree pull gives us.
Full magic.
Okay, that could come in handy.
Not the worst for sure, yeah. So yeah, Swerb is going to try to get 3 bombs here from the bushes, which can be difficult. It's RNG based, so yeah, he's gonna try to get those as fast as he can, with as few screen transitions as he can.
Oh man, not really having any luck so far.
Ooh, we have a fire on Jenja's stream next to the uncle. Very good.
That made the full magic refill tree pull even better.
Oh yeah. He's got a weapon, and I don't think he's afraid to use it. Okay, Swerb abandoning the bombs, actually. Wow, yeah, he's gotten really unlucky there. That's, wow.
Yeah, just one single bomb after all those bushes. That's really unlucky.
And one bomb is not really going to do that much. He's got to either find rupees or bombs in the place that he decides to use the bomb in, pretty much, or else he might run into some locations he can check here.
I'm gonna assume he's gonna bomb the little hut in the south and grab those 4 bombs, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe he... Yeah, that's right. I keep forgetting about that, but some runners actually utilize that, which is a very smart play. Got a lumberjack check here on Jenja's stream. It's just a piece of heart. So yeah.
Excuse me, a piece of what?
A piece of the mirror.
I don't think we need to keep that meme alive.
But yeah, Swerb, because he, like you mentioned, he's going to use the little hut here. 4 bombs guaranteed. A couple of rats here, which can also provide you decent drops. But yeah. Let's see. He's not getting any drops, but just a couple bombs. Meantime, Jenja finding more 20 rupees.
Yeah, so far a lot of rupees found. Well, not a lot of rupees by the amount, but a lot of red rupees and some, I think, green rupee.
We got a bottle on Swerve's screen, so he'll be electing to probably check this ticket immediately. Oh. He placed the bomb in the bed.
That's pretty good.
Lovely. Okay, A+, A+.
Okay, let's see if the well can give them anything. So far, really... Oh, well, there we go. There's a bombos.
More fire, huh? Oh, the shovel and the gloves. Okay, so the shovel hurts a little bit if you go bottom route because you got to go back to use it. But yeah, the gloves definitely want to see them as early as possible. So that's a very nice pickup there.
Yeah, finally gets a useful item out of here. Let's see if anything's in Blind's hut down there.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's a full set of a mirror, not only a piece.
Not only a piece, just a full thing.
Interesting. That's a very early mirror, so... Ooh, and powder.
Oh, looks like we're getting all the fetch quests out of the way right at the start.
Yeah? To be that way, I wouldn't be surprised about a mushroom very soon. Maybe at the shovel spot.
Oh man, that would be pretty good.
Okay, so yeah, I think Jenya has a small advantage here, just like because the top route with the shovel is working out better for location checking at this point. I think that's the... And Swerb did get unlucky with his bombs at the bottom route, so And yeah, Swerb actually doesn't have a weapon yet, since he hasn't visited Uncle, so I'm curious to see, I mean... Oh,
How?
okay, well... Don't mind me, I'm just like rambling. Just rambling. Don't mind me, there's a sword. Sword for sale!
Alright, so we got our first sword from the bottle vendor, which, surprising. That guy usually sells not anything that you want to have.
I got boots from him today in a race, can you believe that?
Oh, wow. that is amazing, actually.
Okay, but yeah, Jay will be picking up his sword here, and then, save and quit. Did he check the bottom, the race? I don't think he did. So he might want to come back for that at some point. He's deciding to immediately do Sank. I'm sure Swerb will follow suit here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Definitely a very smart play if you have the glove.
Yeah, getting those 3 chests out of the way early on is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if they do find a small key in here, they decide to do the dark rooms or the dark sewers back to that one single chest that's still in there. Oh, and the bow.
I don't want to jinx it, but we're pretty stacked right now, aren't we?
Yeah, it certainly looks like it.
We still have like a couple of 3 locations left to go. Jenya going immediately for the dam and the mini Molderum cave, and Swerb decides it's time to check that dark chest. With the sword is definitely a reasonable play. Getting the reds killed shouldn't be too difficult unless they kind of, you know, escape to the right side at some point, which can happen, but yeah. He got the key, no problem, should be making his way through here.
Looks like you can't quite find the door.
I've been there. I've been there.
Just 50 bucks in the dam. Jenja decides to pick it up anyways. Don't blame him. They're still pretty low on funds.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they find a lamp somewhere here, or really anywhere that they can still check, that's a pretty early EP check, I would say.
Yeah, I think... I can't really identify what he got there, but I think that even without the lamp, both runners will be inclined to at least check at this point with the bow in hand.
Yeah, the dark rooms aren't the hardest, and it's a small sequence break, so... Oh, there's... What?
What? What's going on?
Okay.
What's going on here? Hello?
That's a pretty good cave right there.
We did get a logic update, right? Right? This must be the new logic, right? Right?
Yeah, I'm... Maybe my wish for a jet seat is coming true.
The flute, the master sword, and the moon pearl, plus an armor upgrade, all in the same cave. Oh man. Oh man. Okay, and that, yeah. They are 1 item away from Dark World access, and they have barely checked anything in the first... I mean, they have checked the starting locations, but there's so much open right now to them.
Yeah, we're not even 10 minutes in, and they already got like half their stuff filled out on the tracker.
Mm-hmm. Well, Swerb did check the dark chest, so he's following up here with Mini Molderum. He'll be pleasantly surprised about what's going on here. There's the cave for Jenya. I think our tracker can just mark the all items because we're going to find them in the next 10 minutes anyways. It's no problem. No problem.
It is definitely looking like an Aga 1 seed, though, with that cape and that Master Sword.
I mean, there's so much left. I would really Yeah, I mean, it could be, of course, but like with so much left.
Yeah, I mean, usually you'd think with so much left, they'll find the hammer or some form of Dark World access, maybe the myths even.
I'm pretty sure the runners do not want to see the lamp at this point, because that would be an indicator that they might have to do Aga. Okay, but yeah, Jenya with the Eastern check here. Do know it's a pendant dungeon, so but still, Eastern is a very, very early accessible dungeon, like front loaded with items. They did find a lot already, but it's probably still worth doing. And both runners are also notably running a bit low on money. They might want to. And Eastern does have a couple rooms where you could potentially get a couple rupees here and there, so not the worst idea right there. Shovel held nothing. Well, I mean, a heart piece, I guess that's something, but...
Yeah, it's really nothing. I mean, with what they found, they're kind of spoiled, really, at this point.
Yeah. That by no means means, of course. I mean, since it's not the new logic, in case, you know, somebody mistook that. So in 26, this loaded of a start can still mean that something is in the spot where they will take an hour to find it, so... We're not home free yet.
Yeah, and we already have ACM in chat constructing some awful things that could happen to these guys. Come on, man. Don't curse them.
There's a
Yes,
tiny
okay. Seems to be working out.
What is going on? That's like the whole map right now, except for hammer locations. Like, man. I guess, what is this?
I don't know, but I guess we'll be done here in half an hour.
Yeah. Okay, Swerb is diverging though from Jenya's play a little bit. He's doing Death Mountain area. With the mirror in hand, he can definitely get up to the Tower of Hera, which also is a pendant dungeon, and I mean, we have the pendant payout in Eastern, why not in Hera? Could you imagine finding the hammer up there? That'd be amazing.
Oh, that would be really good for Swerb. It's also interesting to note, I don't think Jenya has activated his flute yet, while Swerb obviously fluted up here to that mountain.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much shot from the old man. What is happening with the seed?
What? And the Ether Medallion! What is this? What?
Okay.
What?
I think, yeah, well, as I said, we're gonna be done here in half an hour, guys. Don't worry about it.
What is going on, dude? What is going on? Okay, we haven't found an item in the last 20 seconds. I think we're safe.
Oh, you just wait.
Now, interesting. Oh no, Swerb shows the Dark World. No, I wanted to see the Dark World dungeon. So well, we're going to get a check on that relatively soon. Anyways.
Yeah, looks like Jenya's headed there right away. And still, I guess he's just not used to having the flute this early, because I think he still hasn't activated his swag duck.
Yeah, he has the mirror, so he's probably going to combine walking through the village of outcasts with mirroring for the flute, I guess, or something along those lines, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Red mail, why not? Like,
okay.
Why not? Temper and butter also in this cave, probably. I mean, why not?
Yeah, right? Sure. I mean, ice rod.
It's the nets. What is this?
But we did get a quick map check from Swerb, and Pod was the green pendant, and Crystals 5 and 6 were Swamp, and Turtle Rock as our wonderful tracker marked off on the crystals. And as you said, Jenya just activating his flute with the mirror. Why not?
Yeah, Swerb got the lamp as well, so I'm just gonna ask, dude, are you alright? Can you keep up, or is this too fast?
Yeah, do you need a second tracker, maybe?
Oh man, It's flying items left and right. Lumberjack was checked, it was nothing.
Yeah, just a piece of heart, nothing they want to have, probably.
I'd be very surprised if they went back for that. But I mean, at the pace they're going, they might get bored and just do it out of boredom. I don't know.
Just decide to 100% the seed.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, race-wise, it's hard to tell if anybody got an advantage right now. Jenny does have his fire rod, but they are checking different locations. Like, so I mean, Swerb is going to stay up here in Death Mountain for a little while longer, probably checking Hera. Well, Jenny with the mitts in hand, of course, or on the hand, I guess, is doing all the Village of Outcast stuff that he can. And with the mirror, he can also do a quick Smith check and possibly take the purple chest for Big Dark World 2 here.
Yep, he certainly could. Still kind of short on money, just barely able to afford the digging game, but it should hopefully give him a little bit back.
If Pin and Hera also pays out, I don't even know what to think anymore, honestly.
That was, I think, 22 digs for a piece of heart, and looks like Jenja is not too happy about that. Just waits out the timer.
Yeah, remember earlier, he didn't check the race item, actually, and he's doing it now, which is not a bad idea.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good choice. Didn't even think of that.
Okay, so Hera is not, well, I'm gonna call it fire-locked, no basement for now. Could potentially still see the basement if an item is there and Swerb feels like he needs to do it.
Yeah, and at the rate that they're finding items, I'm sure he won't want to miss one chest even.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of, if you have this pacing in the seat, you are really worried that you are missing out on some stuff somewhere, because it's so much all at once that, you know, you kind of like, you see all these other locations on the map and you're like, there has to be something somewhere else, right?
So he got a key here out of the big chest. That means there's definitely an item in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and Jenja is doing the chest world tour here. Now, notable is they did not find the hammer yet. So there's the hammer is one of the big items for dungeons. A lot of dungeons are quote-unquote hammer locked. Some of them are literally hammer locked. Others will have, like Thieves Town will have a chest that is locked through the hammer. So a very essential item that they're still missing. And they will also at some point need the Ice Rod for Turtle Rock and the Cane of Samaria. That's the big ones I can see right now. Flippers, yes, flippers are also needed because Swamp is a crystal. The validation arrow, very nice there.
Yep, getting that out of the way early.
Moldorm goes down no problem. Let's see what he has. The boots!
Okay. The seed continues.
The boots! Are you serious? Are you serial?
I am, yeah, I'm quite amazed at the seed. And if I'm not mistaken, unless I'm super stupid, which might happen, but we found 3 swords already, right? The Master Sword that Swerb has is a different one than the one from Jenja?
I don't think so. Maybe? I don't know. Is that right? I so many items, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm also really confused. I might be completely wrong here.
And Swerb is checking the basement. I would too, honestly. I would too. Now Jenny has got to be worried. He hasn't found an item for at least 2 minutes now. I mean, he's probably sweating right now. Now,
Yeah.
race-wise, I mean, both runners checked one pendant dungeon, but they are going to be hard-pressed to do what the other runner has done. Swerb finding the boots, he's probably gonna be looking to do some overworld stuff afterwards. Yes, Tempered Sword in Hive Cave. He's going to be looking into doing some overworld stuff after this, probably. Maybe do a dungeon clear in Dark World or something like that. Oh no, he doesn't have the hammer. That's right. So Swerb has to go back to Eastern.
Yeah. He'll probably be on his way there now, maybe? Oh, he decides to check
I
Bunk
see.
Rocks.
No, okay, never mind what I just... I somehow thought that he had the hammer. I think because I wrote the scenario in my head that the hammer wasn't Hera, but I don't know. I'm just, like, going crazy right now. So it's a bit of a disadvantage for Jenja at the end of the day, who will have a hard time going back to Hera, really. Like, he has a lot of locations to check, a couple dungeons open to him, and Hera is probably not the first one that comes to mind.
Yeah, very true. And of course, Misery Mire would require Quake, the only medallion they haven't found yet.
So we're routing in the Lumberjack Cave check. Meantime, Jenja is cruising to Desert here. See if it's boot locked. That could save him a little bit. If it's not boot locked, But yeah, Jenja can check so many things and has a couple crystal dungeons open to him. I would have a hard time thinking that I would need to go to Hera. That being said, Hera is a fast dungeon, so if he's there in the close by, he might do it. It looks like it is boot locked, unless the big key is in the small chest here. Ooh, interesting. We see the Hulian room from Swerb here. There's the hammer in Desert! What?
There is the hammer.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are we in go mode yet? This is...
I was just gonna ask the exact same thing. Are we in go mode yet?
Wow. We're still looking for Quake and Ice Rod, I believe, and Flippers, right? And Canis and Maria, of course. Swerb is going to go collect his Fire Rod, though.
Yep, it's going to be very good for him. Let's hope he heads into Eastern afterwards. At this point, I'm really expecting Sahasra Last Hut to have, like, Kane, Flippers, and Quake or something.
I'm just sitting here in disbelief, honestly.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. 22 minutes in, and if you look at their trackers, stuff that they found already is just insane.
Yeah, and I mean, they have so many items that, I mean, both runners are doing very, very different things right now. Both of them paying off, though, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, Swerve, I would give him a bit of an advantage because of the boots, simply, honestly.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there, because the boots just make it a lot faster to traverse stuff.
Yeah, and he is still Dark World locked, so he will find the myths eventually. Whereas Jenja is going to walk through dungeons, as it seems, because he's going back to the Village of Outcasts, which probably means either, yeah, Skullwoods or Thieves Town, maybe both even, so he might lose time there over Swerb.
Yeah, we'll have to see if their amazing item streak continues here in Skullwoods. Or down in Zelda Cell. So far, the rescue part of Escape not really having too many great things yet. I think a map and a heart container so far.
That's what I saw, yeah. I'm really hard. I don't think that it's the game has to try really hard to put any items in Skullwoods and Thieves Town at this point, honestly.
Yeah, there's not too much left.
I don't think that Jenja will find anything here, but I mean, prove me wrong with game. Prove me wrong. Okay, so Swerve will probably go to Eastern and find his myths now. Yeah. So, yeah, and this is where Swerve has the advantage. Ooh, Jenny, having a little bit of trouble with the bomb jump in Skullwoods here. It's not an easy one.
Oh, just be careful. Okay, he decides to abandon it with only 1 heart left.
Yeah, he has to.
Yeah, he at least takes the exit, so if he does die... Or,
Yeah, he's
okay.
taking the intentional death, and then... Try again. Come on, Jenya. There we go. There's 300 rupees. I mean, that's a decent price, honestly. He's going to take another death for health.
Yeah, easy, quick refill. Not a bad choice.
Yep.
And Swerb is making his way into Eastern, going to pick up his Titansmiths. Maybe he decides to finish it off? Probably not, but...
No, I mean, we found 3 items here, right? So, at the pace this run is going, I would think that you would not assume a pedestal seed. I mean, it can always be, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you just want to blind chance it, and maybe, you know, it's relatively quick to come back here and kill.
Buttery Sword on Jenya's Shaman Skull, of course. So there's that. I mean, I know Red Mail's out there as well. I mean, where are Silvers? Say they must be in Thieves Town, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking Silvers has got to be the next item they find somewhere.
Jeez. Okay, so Jenya's getting his first crystal now in Skullwoods, going up to the moth part of the dungeon. And I'm curious to see what Swerb does from here. Like, we saw the Death Mountain play. He now has so many things unlocked with the Titansmiths. We might actually see him go back there and do the Darkwood part.
Yeah, wouldn't be the worst choice. I mean, he can check all of Hookshot Cave and...
Oh, he's abandoning Ether.
Oh.
Let's hope that does not... Ooh. We still don't know what Turtle Rock is, so... He left the Ether Medallion there. That could be bad, depending on what Turtle Rock has.
Yeah, if Turtle Rock does require Ether, that could be a thing. I don't know if he's ever gonna think to check back into Eastern, especially with how many things are now open to him.
Less RNG, yeah. Let's hope for his sake that, yeah. And he is going to come in, what I mentioned earlier, with the boots in tow. He will have a lot easier time and make up ground on Jenya, who has done, like, all of this already, but, you know, has had to walk through it. Whereas Jenya will still have to go up to Hera, so... we know that Desert is boot locked, so the boots are required.
Alright, off to the Mothula fight. I'd be a little bit scared with as little hearts as they have right now, to be honest, but I'm also not at that level of these guys.
Okay. And Jenya having a bit of trouble, but I think it's one hit away. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first crystal for Jenya, and Swerb is probably about to find his Tempered Sword, which is pretty big for him. Especially if he was planning on finishing this dungeon. Tempered does make Mothula a lot easier than the Master Sword / Fire Rod combination.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he's skipping the... Oh! He's skipping the one... Oh, no. Okay, so that will be a bit of a time loss for Swerb. He's probably banking on the fact that Mothula's area of this dungeon has the last item.
Yeah, let's hope he comes back for it, because that will be 2 items skipped for him, and that's not looking too great.
It's a bit of a time sink here for him. I mean, he's obviously doing this with planning to go back through the dungeon to do Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I understand the routing choice. It's just unfortunate that the last item is in that one chest that he just skipped over.
Yeah, and especially the Tempered Sword, that would make the Mothula fight a lot easier, as you said earlier, and now he's gonna have to stick with the Master Sword and his Fire Rod and whatever magic he might have left.
Mm-hmm. He might also decide to pull... oh no, he doesn't have the hammer. That's... Sorry, Jenny, I found that one only. Why do I keep thinking that he has the hammer? I don't know, somebody stop me. I keep thinking he has the hammer. And yeah, now Jenya walking into Thieves Town. He can full clear the dungeon no matter what happens. See how Swerb does him off. He does have a B, yes. Ooh, nice sword spins. Have not seen that yet with the Master Sword, but that's a pretty decent idea, honestly. As long as you can get decent enough setups for that.
Yeah, not very easy with that moving floor, but I think he got a hit or two in, and there it goes down.
Nice. Okay, and yeah, the thing is, like, with Jenya and Thieves Town now, it's okay from his perspective, because he found so much. You know, he can full clear it, that's fine. But Swerve is gonna save an immense amount of time, and especially in Thieves Town with the boots equipped, because Thieves Town has long stretches of walking distance where boots are just so much better than just not having them. Like, you save so much time here. It's crazy.
Yeah, the time save will be big. Let's hope for Swerve's sake that the big chest doesn't hold anything important, though.
That's right. He already did skip over Ether. We don't need another Blessed RNG.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now Swerve. Skipping over the Tempered Sword again. What are you doing, Swerve? Please. Okay, he decides to go back in.
I think he just wanted to reset the room for the mirror.
Oh
So
yeah, that
he's-
makes sense.
Starts at that door. In a bit of trouble here. Yeah, if you don't get the initial pull on these guys, it can be a bit troublesome to get through this room. He's gonna get it though. And that must feel bad.
Yeah,
he's flashing
he's
the sword.
not very happy about that, but oh well.
You know, I love Swerve's reactions to things. Like, first of all, bombing the sick kid. I love that one, and this one too. I like it.
Okay, just 10 arrows up on the Bunker Cave ledge.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jenya wanted to put his net to use, but accidentally ate the fairy that he powdered.
He's got another one over here if he wants to. He skips over it though. Okay, we are getting a top Dark World check from Swerb here. King's Tomb and Graveyard Cliff. Okay, so the big chest in Thieves Town does have an item. It's not important though, but if Swerb decides to do it without the hammer, that's gonna weigh on his mind a little bit at least.
Yeah, especially later on, if Ether really is required, he's gonna remember that chest before he remembers Eastern, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh god. The setup is real.
So we'll see. It looks like Swerve decides to go for a couple of overworld locations before dipping back into any dungeons.
Yeah, I like this. I like this from Swerb. With the boots, if you have the boots, these locations are very, very easy to check, which otherwise, you have a hard time coming up here, honestly, and checking all of this. So I really like that play. Ooh, Jenja needing to utilize the cape on blind here, having a bit of trouble. And you have enough MP for this, Jenja! Oy, 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 cutting it very close there.
Alright, so I think Thieves Town, our first dungeon that doesn't actually have anything worthwhile in it. Could it be?
Yeah, there was nothing in here, as always. Shouts to my boy Andy. Okay, and yeah, Jenja now... what do I do if I'm Jenja now?
That's a very good question.
I mean, hammer packs, obviously, but then... I mean, I do have to go to Death Mountain, right?
Yeah, he hasn't been up there at all yet, and I think that should be his next stop.
Okay. Are the flippers behind the fence?
Okay, one step closer to go mode.
That changes everything for Jenja, honestly. Just said basically, well, he has to do Death Mountain, right? No, now he doesn't have to. He just suddenly has access to all these dungeons in the bottom part of the Dark World. He can go into Ice, he can do Swamp.
Yeah, can also check the Lake Hylia Island and the Hobo, and of course the whole Zora area now.
Swerb, in the meantime, picking up his hammer, and he can finish Desert. He has the boots, so... And this is actually very, very bad for Jenja. Let's hope the flippers do not bait him into those dungeons. They could potentially hold items, but we know that he needs to go up this mountain for the movement. And that's the ice rod!
I am really quite amazed.
What is this? What? That's Kane only left, right? We've seen everything else? And Quake, I guess. Quake, yeah. Okay.
Quake and Kane, and then we're in go mode, I guess.
Oh man. Vanilla bottle from the chest. It had something in it though, at least. Blue goo, that's very nice.
Yeah, that's a nice thing to have, getting a free blue goo here.
Oh man, I'm curious to see what Jenja does now. It's really, the race depends on what Jenja does now. Swerve's path is relatively straightforward from here. Like, he has all the options, he has all the items. He just needs to find the cane and the flippers, and then, well, the Quake, and he's good. Whereas Jenja is going to be hard-pressed to get his hands on those boots. Which, the boots lock the ice rod, which is even more devious. That could be potential disaster for Turtle Rock in play. Oh man. So think about that for now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point Jenja has to go up to Death Mountain, right? I guess he's checking Hobo first and everything, and maybe warp to Zora afterwards.
Okay. No, okay.
Okay, only 10 arrows up there. And what's Swerb grabbing his second crystal?
Yeah, let's not forget about Ether. I want to know, but they don't go there. Come on, guys.
Yeah, really, come on. It's time we find out, because that could really come back and haunt Swerb a lot.
Yep.
And
we have the cane! What?
Okay, so I guess except for Quake, we've now found everything for the go mode.
Oh my. Okay, Jenja, please go. Waterfall, okay, good. That pretty much indicates that Swamp and Ice might just be a huge waste of time if you full clear them, more or less. I mean, they could have what we were looking for, Quake, but... It could also be a giant trap for Jenja right now.
Yeah, absolutely. At this rate, I'm really expecting Quake to be here in the Zora area somewhere, or like in the next 5 minutes, they're gonna grab it somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Maybe Zora giving us Quake? Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, the ledge only had a couple bombs, so definitely not gonna pick up those.
Okay, yeah, so Swerb has a bit of catching up to do with the Village of Outcast stuff, finding his nets right here. Ah, not the worst deal I've ever seen. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's only 200 bucks lost. That's surprising to Zora. Let's hope that Jenja is now making his way up to Death Mountain and clear out all that stuff.
He's looting somewhere, that's a good start. Yes!
Awesome.
Okay, so now... I mean... The question is, will he go into Hera and finish it? He has so many dungeon options. Ah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky situation. I mean, we know he needs to go in there, and then after killing Moldorm, he needs to go down to the basement, which is, for a pendant dungeon, like, the worst. But if he doesn't... we'll have to see what he does after this. First, he's gonna grab his hookshot from the old man.
More importantly, we will get to see Turtle Rock, no doubt.
Yeah, he will definitely check.
That will determine a lot on how this race will actually go.
And yeah, the basement only had a 20, so he's definitely not required to go down there, but if you're still missing an item after doing basically all of the Pendant Dungeon Tower of Hera, he might be inclined to check.
Mm-hmm. Ether was in Eastern, the chest behind the dark rooms, the vanilla big key chest, and Swerb decided to skip out on that. So, and that means pretty much he's not gonna go back to that anytime soon. Let's see that Hera play, Jenja. Let's see that Hera play. Ah,
Okay.
attaboy, attaboy.
That will definitely net him the boots at the very least.
Yep. Don't just go out, Jenja. What some runners do is, if this is pendant and the progression is so good, you know, they check the first couple chests here and then say, yeah, whatever, it's Hera. Not Jenja, though.
Nope, he definitely wants to see this through. I mean, once we're just making his way through Thieves Town.
Yeah, it looked pretty clean to me so far, so he will obviously not find anything, but pretty good dungeon from him.
Yeah, and thankfully for him, he has the hammer now, so that won't be a big chest he'll be missing.
Mm-hmm. So that's one less thing to worry about. Okay, so Jenja will get his boots. For sure, guaranteed.
Yep, no doubt about that. We can really see with the Swerb and how quickly he's going through Thieves Town with the boots now, how much of an advantage they really give you.
Mm-hmm. And Swerb will take the crystal advantage here as well with his third one under his belly.
Yep, it's gonna be interesting to see what he does next. I mean, he still does have some catching up to do with the frog and everything, but it should be relatively quick.
Yep. Jenja with nice cape stress on Moldorm here.
Gets him down, no problem. Needs to go a little bit to the left here. There we go.
Could be happy about those boots. And Swerb in the meantime having a relatively clean blind fight here. Unlike Jenja earlier.
Oh, there's the third crystal for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. Does Jenja go back in for that basement chest? Nope. He decides, I don't care about that. I already got the boots.
Nice gamble there. We know it pays off, but that's dangerous. Usually you'll see runners these days not skip out on that, but Jenja feels like, okay, I missed these boots so long, well, I might have to gamble a little bit here and there, even though he can't feel bad about his item progression, honestly.
Yeah, not at all. Already Butter Sword has pretty much everything he wants. He might also decide after he's done here, checking the Dark World stuff, that he wants to go back to Desert now that he has the boots. So that'll net him his Ice Rod.
Oh yeah, if Jenja can potentially actually enter Turtle Rock. If it's Ether or Bombos, potentially. Without the Ice Shard, that would obviously not be a great play at this point, but...
Yeah, we've seen people take the early gamble on Turtle Rock. You never know what's in there. There's quite a couple item locations.
Yep, it's pretty packed, that's for sure. Jenja getting his red mail. And Swerb cleaning up the lower Dark World route here. And Jenja will also pick up his lamp. That's right. Jenja and lamps are friends, for those who don't know. Alright, so now we're getting to the good stuff on Jenja's stream, and now we're getting to territory we haven't seen yet.
Yep, it's going to be exciting to see what the Dark World side of the Eastest Mountain holds for them.
Most importantly, Turtle Rock, absolutely. Let's hope Swerb doesn't forget about the hammer packs. I highly doubt he does, but yeah, he's heading there with this miss, of course, so...
Yeah, looking pretty good.
There we go. So that will be flippers for him, and he must feel really good about that. Now, Swerb is actually... Ironically, if he doesn't check Hobo, he's in a situation where he could be baited into going into Swamp or Ice, and then trying to find the cane in those.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, here comes the Hookshot Cave, and then we're probably gonna get that Turtle Rock check everyone's been waiting for.
Okay, just bombs here. Doesn't look like anything of value. No, Hookshot Cave is empty.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, what could there be, really? Okay, and here it goes, and it is Ether!
Oh no!
That,
oh no!
Oh man, that could spell doom for Swerb. And it looks like Jenja wants to go in there, so that's not a great choice either.
Oh no. Disaster should have just struck on Swerve's side, even though he's just like, you know, making friends with the bats, having a chest. He doesn't know yet. But Jenja might give Swerve a little bit of breathing room here. Best case scenario for Jenja right now is that Quake's in here. Really,
Yeah.
that's like the best case scenario. If he goes in here, and he does. Oh dear.
Okay, this is turning into a very interesting race, I'd say.
Yeah, if you would ask me who wins this race, I would say probably the video game. Probably the video game at this point.
Oh no, and it looks like Swerb is making the play on Swamp.
Checking Hype K first. Getting his
Okay.
Water Sword. Now, if Swerb does go Swamp, the best case scenario for him there is Quake is in there. Oh man. Okay, so man, this is a tight race. Even though they have done so many completely different things, this is such a tight race. Ooh, and Jenja is leaving Totorock. He just checked the first couple chests because he was right here, and then leaves.
Okay, that's really good for him.
That is a really good, yeah. Yeah, I like that, I like that. I wonder who taught him that.
Oh, but he's also making the play on Swamp, so if Quake is indeed in there, that's the advantage, or what little advantage Swerb had gone.
Okay, so it looks like both players are doing Swamp, so yeah, this is looking bad for Swerb, honestly.
Yeah, at this point, as we said earlier, I don't think he's gonna think of the chests in Eastern anytime soon, especially now with how much he has opened to check. And then he also has to remember Hobo, which might not be a priority for him, because when does Hobo ever have anything you want?
It's easy to forget about Hobo, especially the later it goes, the more likely you are to forget about Hobo. Because at that point, you have like these big locations on your head, dungeons in your mind, and then it's just like, oh yeah, there's this guy that I might want to visit at some point. I think Swerb is, you know, practiced enough, experienced enough to, like, when he goes to Ice, he will definitely check Hobo, but still, it could be potentially a thing that might slip his mind. I don't know, 1 out of 50 races, so...
Yeah, I guess he has a higher chance of checking Hobo than finding Ether, sadly.
Yeah. So now, suddenly, Swerve's best case scenario, I mentioned earlier, the best case scenario for him would be here, that Quake is here. Honestly, it would be best if it's actually in Totorock at this point for him, because that would eliminate that dungeon for him to check.
Yeah, definitely.
And it would buy him a little bit of time compared over Jenja. Because Jenja might decide to eventually check Totorock if he goes back to Desert for Quake, then? Okay. See the left side play from Swerb. Left side has been having some good stuff lately in tournament races, so...
Yeah, not the worst play.
Skipping over, it used to be relatively common that runners skipped over left side, but yeah, watching the tournament, it's definitely something that you don't take lightly anymore.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit surprised he decides to route it that way. I mean, it's not bad at all, as you're saying. I just thought when he found that big key down there, he'd check the big chest and then maybe finish off Argus first and then go back to the west side, but might as well just check it.
I think they found a map in the first chest, so it's 100% that there's an item there, so it's already worth doing it right now, really.
Yeah, that's very true. Alright, and Jenja is deciding to skip the left side for now.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll find out what these other swamp chests have.
There's Quake! There's Quake! Jenja only needs to collect his Ice Rod. and then he will be in go mode. Heartbreaking for Swerb.
Yeah, that... Oh man, it's all gonna come down to that chest he left behind in Eastern.
That one chest. That one chest. Maybe he has an epiphany or something. I don't know. And he goes back and gets it. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope so. I'd have a little more hope if Pod was a crystal and not the green pendant. Because then maybe he'd remember, oh, okay, I'll just mirror back here and check it out real quick. But since he has no reason at all to go to Pod, at least so far.
He has to hope that Jenya makes some kind of routing mistake right now. Maybe go into ice? Maybe do Mire before Desert, something like that. I don't really... it's not even a mistake. Desert is the fastest dungeon that he has left, really, so... Yeah, he has to... Swerb has to hope that he does something like that.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not really sure I see any way for Swerb to catch back up, because even if Jenya decides to do Desert as the very last thing before Turtle Rock, he's still picking up crystals on the way, so...
Also, let's hope that Swerb doesn't get fancy ideas here with Quake and thinks, haha, Mire chain guaranteed in there. And Jenya does do ice first, I think. So that's a bit of time for Swerb right there. It's a bit of time for Swerb. Jenya donating a bit of time to him.
Yeah, definitely. He's gonna full clear it for sure. Since he is still looking for that ice rod.
Yep. Jenya did leave behind left side though. That could also weigh on his mind. I think also that Jenya, he found the hammer in Desert, so he would probably think that the last dungeon where the ice rod actually is Desert at this point. So you gotta keep that in mind as well. Like, how often do you have two big items in a 2-item dungeon?
Yeah, that's very true. Oh man. If only Swerb had picked up that ether, things would be looking very different.
Yeah, I think Swerb would be ahead at this point. But as it stands... Ooh, half magic for Jenya though! That's a handy little thing you picked up there.
Yeah, definitely not a bad find for the first chest and ice. And yeah, Swerb having a picture book Argus fight here with a fire rod, gets him down real quick. Let's see what he decides to do now. Let's hope he's going over there. Let's hope he's not just straight diving into Ice Palace. Nope, he's just floating away. Okay.
Don't do Mire. No. Okay. And he's going up. Yeah, he still has to do the mountain check, of course, and then he's going to see Ether. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think at this point, well, he can't even get in. So, never mind me. I was gonna say, at this point, it might be a little bit of a stroke of good luck for Swerb that he can not even, get anywhere in Turtle Rock, but he can't even open it up, so whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, Jenya's way of thinking is probably now that he did find the hammer in Desert, and he probably thinks that what are the odds that my item that I'm missing is in there. So he will probably do Desert last, to be honest. And we might even see Mire before Desert, and then... So that will buy Swerb a little bit of time.
Yeah, with every dungeon that Jenya is full clearing that Swerb isn't going to yet, he gets a little bit of extra time to remember that ether.
The Germans. Well.
Alright, so now Swerb is going to find out that the 2 medallions he has aren't enough. My Jenja getting hit by the bunny beam here. Swerb is probably really hoping that Ether is in here.
Yep. Just $50 for Jenja. I think that's the second item.
Oh, and I think Swerb is gonna go for the Spike Cave.
Yep, looks like it. I'd definitely be inclined to check that as well.
Yeah, with how early they found the cape and he's right here. Definitely
Yep.
not a bad play at all.
Just $50.
The Ice Rod was the second item in Desert, which was boots locked, which is why Jenja doesn't have it yet. The big problem for Swerb here is that he skipped out on a chest or two in Eastern Palace, which had Ether, which is required to get into Turtle Rock, and we're thinking he's probably not going to check back into Eastern anytime soon.
Yep. He also still has to worry about the cane, which is that hobo. But I think in this the rounds he's currently making, he will get that.
I certainly hope so, because if he forgets about two items, that is almost unrecoverable. It's already looking pretty slim that he decides to go back to Eastern to check those chests, but... Oh, don't do it, Swerb. Okay.
He was thinking about it.
Yeah, I think he wants to go back there, but at least he's checking Hobo first.
Getting the cane. Interesting to see will be if he thinks that maybe Meyer has Ether. Like, I'm not gonna lie, personally, but that's probably just me. I like to do Meyer over Ice. I don't know. That's just me. My reasoning being that more likely than not, you'll have to open a couple of chests in Meyer anyways. So... might as well try and find the item there.
Yeah, that's true. He might decide. At least he's fluting away and not going straight into Ice, so he might be going... Yep, looks like he is.
Probably what I would have done as well.
Yeah, you just got the cane, so that means you can pretty much finish it off.
Followed up by Jenja. Now, important for Jenja here is, will he finish Desert first, or will he just jump into Meyer?
Yeah, he might decide to just
He just jumps into Meyer. That is more time for Swerb right there, although they are actually in the same dungeon now, at the same time nonetheless. That's pretty funny, but... yeah.
Oh, man.
There can't realistically be anything in here, really, that would somehow turn this in Swerv's favor.
Yeah, they can't really find anything in here. At worst, it's a book that will mislead Swerb even further from where he needs to go to get that last item.
Yeah. Swerve having a little bit of trouble. A bit out of magic. He was trying to use the Cane of Samaria here for the first room, but yeah. Can hear the beeping.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point from chat. Book could throw both of them off the right track, so... It's definitely not 100% over yet, it's just... I really don't think Swerb has any inclination to go back into Eastern Palace to check those chests.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of thinking he might have counted the items wrong on accident because he was so excited to find the Power Glove.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd be incredibly surprised, even if the Mushroom and Book are in here. I'd be incredibly surprised if Jenja wouldn't finish up Desert Palaces after this.
Yeah.
I'd be incredibly surprised. And Swerb is having a bit more trouble here with low on health. How to use this blue potion? Ooh, Jenja needs to be careful too here. He's taking a couple of hits, but yeah, he's powdering the anti-fairy. Both runners taking a different route here through the dungeon. See who gets more lucky. So far, none of them.
Keys everywhere.
Jenja went into desert the first time around without the boots, and the ice rod was boot locked, basically. As is the dungeon, but yeah. More keys. Keys for days.
Gotta get all those keys.
There's the big key, vanilla.
Interesting, one item still at large in here.
Jenja's deciding to immediately go finish the dungeon. Maybe come back in to check for the items if he doesn't get one from Vidi. See if Swerb does the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see they're both hunting for one more item for Go Mode, and we know where the items are that they need, but obviously they have no idea.
Yeah, Swerb is going back for the items.
Yeah, we'll see if it pays off for him, because if this is just another piece of heart, or maybe not even an item, but a dungeon item.
I think I like Swerv's play more, honestly, because you kind of, at this stage in the run, you kind of want to go back in anyways, probably. So, like, checking it out right now and seeing, okay, this is this and this that, and then just finishing the dungeon is a bit better than having to go back in, doing that first room again, and then, you know, then finding out there's nothing here. I think that's a bit better. If you get, like, the big key very early, you're of course inclined to immediately just go to Vidi and then try to get an item from him, but yeah. Jenja making short work of the eyeball. Getting his compass, he can't be too happy about that.
Nope, he might want to go back in here and get the last item.
No, but Jenja's just like, nope. Nope, not gonna do it.
Yeah, and he's gonna be very happy after he gets done with the desert play here.
Yep, and this will definitely put Jenja in the lead.
Yeah, and in Go Mode.
I think he's not going to expect the ice shard here, though. He's just here to finish this up, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. He's gonna be very surprised what he finds in that next chest.
In all honesty, I think Jenja might think that he's behind.
Yeah, it's you gotta feel that way.
I mean, Ice did nothing. Meyer did nothing.
Alright, Swerb, what are you gonna do now?
I feel like it's Ice Palace time for Swerb.
Probably, yeah. Is he going back into Swamp?
There's no reason to, really.
Yeah, he full cleared it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to check the Pyramid and Quakefish.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, no, none of the runners were over there yet. Obviously, because Pod is the pendant dungeon, as you mentioned earlier. There was not really a lot that would draw them there, yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like that's exactly where he's heading. Sadly, we already know that's going to be a waste of time for him, but I mean, not a bad routing choice at all from his point of view.
Yep. I mean, this is really unfortunate for Swerb in the grand scheme of things. Like, you skip exactly one chest in the whole run, and that chest is exactly what you need. That is really unfortunate. That happened to me before too. Like at that chest specifically too. Like I've had a fire rod in there before, and yeah, you know, sometimes you're just like, oh, I could save this time. What are the odds that this is an item I need? Especially like 20 minutes in, and then yeah, it's something like ether, and it comes back to haunt you.
Mm-hmm. Jenja making his way up to Turtle Rock now. It's going to be his last crystal.
Yep.
And he's already checked a few of the chests, so even though it's not a huge time save, he has the big key and the small key, if I remember correctly, so he can just go straight to the back and save a little bit more time there.
Yep. I mean, barring any... Oh, silver arrows!
Oh, okay.
Catfish. Okay.
That's probably something Jenja is not going to get.
Definitely not, because I think Jenja is definitely straight up heading to GT there. Getting a waterfall check here for Swerb with the red boomerang. Yeah, the silvers at Catfish, that at least gives him the time back to check there. Like, the silvers will make Ganon a bit faster, so it's a bit of a time save there for Swerb, but I mean, barring any really, really great disasters on Jenja's stream, there should be Jenja's race.
Yeah, I'd be very surprised to see Swerb go back into Eastern anytime soon. And unless, like, I don't know, Jenja's power goes out for 2 hours or something.
I don't think Swerb would need 2 hours, but...
Well, yeah, but...
Yeah. And now it's probably Ice Palace time for Swerb, which is at least, it's crystal progression, so that's nice, but...
Yeah, those are all good routing choices from his point of view. I mean, obviously we as spectators know where he needs to go, but, you know, getting the crystal dungeon done.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I like Swerv's play in this match. Honestly, this routing in play a bit more than Jenja's in total. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it's just like the Ether Medallion that is in that one spot. That's really the only thing. That's the one thing. And that will come back to haunt you.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to be very happy about that.
Jenja catching those fairies, though.
Yep, a little bit of safety. I mean, not surprising that they only have one row of hearts with how quick the seed has been so far, but still, it might make you a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, red mail is nice and all, but like spikes and all that good stuff still does 1 heart of damage to you, no matter what type of mail you have on, so... and GT does have a couple of spikes here and there, and a couple other hazards, so stocking up on a fairy might not be a bad idea here. Excuse me, viewer. I believe in order to get questions answered, you will have to watch the whole race before, you know? Mr. Bowie the hero.
Yes, Swerb found his Titansmiths and then his Power Glove, I'm sorry, in Eastern, and then he just left. We're not quite sure why. I was saying earlier, I think he must have been miscounting the items, because I don't really have any explanation for why he left. It might have just been a gamble on his side.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a bad one either. I mean, it's Pen and Eastern, you found mitts, and like you have this long track to the last item, and you're just like, well, I could save this minute right now, really, you know? And I understand why he did it. It's just really unfortunate that it is what he needs.
Yeah, no way for him to know that that is exactly the one chest that he needs to check. Okay, and Jenja coming up on his Trinix fight here with the Butter Sword and half magic. That's not going to be a problem at all.
Yeah.
Very nice Zero Cycle.
Alright, and for Jenja, we are heading over to Ganon's Tower. Now, we at Speed Gaming, we like to play a little game. Our runners are going to Ganon's Tower. There are 22 item locations where the big key in Ganon's Tower can be. We need that key. We need that key in order to ascend. What is your guess? Where will it be? What item location will hold the big key? Now, Herfy, what do you think?
I'm picking 8 as always.
8. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the standard 7 then. I'm a 7 guy, so.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, Jenja is getting a small key after the first 2 chests and decides to do the right side check. He's probably, like I said, he probably thinks he's behind. Like, as good as his progression was in general, he knows that he missed out on the boost for a long time, and yeah, he can't feel too good about that. So
Yeah, and as we were saying earlier, doing Ice and Meyer full clear before he went back to Desert and pick up his Ice Rod, that definitely makes you feel like you wasted a whole lot of time.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we also mentioned earlier. No, I didn't mention it on stream, but we have been talking about it before the race. There was a race earlier today that had a 1:15 finish time, so you might think, hey, you know, the seats are hot right now. Yeah, but Jenja finding the big key here in chest number 3.
Gonna grab the small key here and then mirror out and make his way up to the gauntlet. And I'm really curious to see where Swerb decides to go next after killing Cold Stare here.
I mean, I don't even think he has that much left, really, but it's probably going to be Pod, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it probably is gonna be Pod.
And I mean, we've seen Swerb having funny reactions to item locations before in the seed. I wonder if he goes back to the ether. What will happen to that chest? What will happen to that chest?
It definitely won't have a good time. I'm pretty sure of that. Alright, so the pod play it is, sadly.
Yeah. That's very logical right now, so, I mean, you can say what you want, his routing was pretty on spot, honestly. I like the way he did everything, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, all his routing choices from his point of view make perfect sense, and it was really good routing, absolutely. It's just that one chest that he gambled on, or that he missed out on, just, you know, it's unfortunate. As you said, it's just that one chest that you leave behind and think you can save a minute, and then at the very end it turns out, okay, that was just the chest that I needed.
Mm-hmm. That is why racing this game is so tough.
Oh, and Civil Yoshi makes a good point here in chat. He might find the book, which might lead him to check all the tablets and everything, so he's been pushed further and further away from where he needs to be for that ether.
Jenny getting knocked around by Landmos, but eventually finishing. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Swerb eventually sees Jenja done here. He might actually know that, okay, it's probably that one chest, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't have some sort of epiphany, because there's no way Jenja could have checked all of Pod and then maybe the tablets or whatever this quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Don't worry, Jenja still has a fairy, so even though he's on 2 hearts, he should be okay. Yeah, I mean, like, we mentioned this 1 or 2 times already, Jenja must think he can't, if he's ahead, he can't be far ahead, and he's more likely than not actually thinking he's behind. There's the book for Jenja, so we know Swerb can't get baited into that.
Okay, that's good for Swerb at least. I think Jenja is still kind of hoping to find silvers. I mean, I have no doubt that he has no problems with doing silverless again, and especially with Butter Sword, but...
Yeah. He should be okay for sure. Imagine getting baited by the book. Alright, and Jenja validating his run.
Yep, wins $300 for it.
Heading up to Aga 2. Dude, this seems like a pretty good setup here. Misses that one. Ooh, Jenja. Come on now.
I don't think that was a double, even though it looked like one.
Yep, I think that was just one.
Oh no.
Jenja's having a bit of trouble, and I can't help him in thinking that he's actually... Yeah. Oh, it was a double, actually.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, they hit at the exact same time, so I thought it was just one, but yeah, apparently it counted.
Okay, so barring any terrible mishaps on Jenja's side, he is probably gonna finish sub 130. Oh man, and it seems like Helmosaur King is also holding an item, so Swerb not being spared from just full clearing and finishing a pod. Meanwhile, Jenja is already in the third phase of the Ganon fight. 4 slashes to have him knock down the floor, and then just a couple spins.
Yeah, gonna be safe with the torch glitch here. Though with half magic, he would have had way more than enough to even dare try to do it without it, but yeah.
Yeah, even if he falls or dies to Ganon now, it's not going to be more than maybe a 2 or 3 minute time loss.
Jenja needs to learn this.
Ooh. Gotta watch out for that knockback.
Yeah. Like, I mean, Jenja is not an NMG runner. Jenja actually learned this randomizer without ever having even played A Link to the Past. So he doesn't really know how some things work, and I think he's a bit irritated in how Ganon works without silver arrows. Because, like,
I was just gonna say, he does look too practiced on a silverless Ganon. That's probably also why he was looking for the silvers earlier, but
yeah.
There he goes.
There you go. GG to Jenja.
Yep, GG, and congrats on the win.
Yeah, the official SRL race time for Jenja. 1:27:23. GG. That's one of the fastest tournament times. We had the fastest earlier today with a 1:15. That was crazy, but yeah, 1:27. Man, that's pretty good.
Yeah, this was still an incredibly fast seed. The amount of items that they got in the beginning was just mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And it looks like Swerb wants to trade in his green pendant first. He just saw that his opponent finished on IRC. So let's hope after this he decides to go back into Eastern, but yeah.
Whew. Alright, we're gonna do a commentary here. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Alright, I'm gonna pull Jenja in here. Give me a second.
We just need to make sure that there's no double audio.
Yeah, let me ping Fiesel real quick.
We did it. We did it. We also did some dumb things though. Some really dumb things. Oh god. I actually didn't feel too good.
We just need to make sure that there's no double audio.
Yeah, let me ping Fiesel real quick. Alright, there we go. GG Jenja, congrats on your win.
Thank you, thank you.
How do you feel after that seed?
I actually don't know. I mean, I felt pretty good overall because it seems like it didn't matter which dungeon I went into. Like I found some pretty crazy item. I was like, okay, that was like one of the earliest like dark worlds, and I just kept getting flooded with items. I'm like, okay, you know, where's the catch? This can't go on like this. And then when I only had the ice rod missing, yeah, I was like, okay, where is that? Yeah, I don't know, but apparently it was all in the crystal dungeons, so yeah, it worked out pretty well for me, I guess.
Yeah, it was quite the crazy scene. Magus and I were sitting here just shaking our heads with how quickly you guys got all the items that you wanted right at the beginning. It was like 20 minutes in and you guys had like half the tracker filled already.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Really, it was I don't know.
Yeah,
had so many items early on, like very early on. Almost the entire wall was pretty much open. Like I actually really
quickly you guys got all the items that you wanted right at the beginning. It was like 20 minutes in, and you guys had like half.
Luckily, I found all the necessary, you know, the medallion, all of that. I found all of that in the crystal dungeons, and that helped me just get along really quickly. So yeah.
All right, I think Cecil managed to switch over the audio, so we shouldn't have a problem anymore here.
Sorry,
That's fine. Don't worry about it. It's just
no, we're good.
Not that big of a deal. So to kind of clue you in on what really held Swerb up, he grabbed the power gloves out of Eastern, went to the big chest, didn't have the big key yet, I don't think, or maybe he opened it up, and then he decided, okay, I'm gonna gamble and mirror out. And he hasn't gotten ether until like a minute ago.
Oh god. Oh.
And that's why he was saying what he's saying on IRC right now.
Yeah, that was the big thing, really. He was doing pretty well, honestly. Like, he found the boots really early. He made his way then back to Eastern, just did that one mistake. He found everything a bit faster than you. And yeah, I mean, then he was just kind of like on this wild goose chase where he was just like kind of trying to find ether anywhere he could think of, and yeah, now we're here.
Yep, you're in the stream chat, I see, so you're probably watching the stream. He's just entering Tyler Rock right now. And Magus was saying, and we were saying, you probably felt a little bit behind with how late you did Desert. I mean, you full cleared Ice and Mire before you went back in there for the Ice Rod. That probably wasn't that great of a feeling.
I actually felt really bad because I felt like I found the boots very late as well, because I did the entire like Tower of Hera stuff super late, and I don't know, as I said, like I was basically able to go anywhere, and I don't know, I decided to go Skullwoods and then Thieves Town because I was like literally right there. So yeah, I felt bad when I found the boots in Tower of Hera. At the same time, I was glad I went into Tower of Hera because I had so much stuff open that I actually almost thought about skipping it, but yeah. And I was like, okay, maybe, you know, I'm already there. If I skip it right there, then I will just never ever go back into that. So, yeah. But yeah, Desert, I don't know. I mean, I didn't do Desert because I thought, okay, if I found Quake somewhere, I can do like Desert and Misery Mire at the same time. And yeah, I mean, if I would have done that before, I would have obviously been a little bit faster because of Ice Rod, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they could know that there would be a second good item in Desert. You already got something pretty cool out of there.
Yeah.
So, you know, you probably never expect that to happen. Well, I mean, congrats on your win. You're 2-1 now, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
And it was definitely a good run and very entertaining to watch. Really quite the quick seed for you guys here. A little bit starved on the hard front, but with the early red mail, not too much of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was my initial decision to not go into Skullwoods the first time because I only had like 3 hearts, and I was like, okay, I can technically clear it, but I'm like, okay. I'll probably die, and we had very little hearts until quite sometime into the run, and yeah.
Yeah, it was actually it was crazy because you guys went different ways like after like 10 minutes, and you both kept finding items. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I don't know I don't know, when I found the Titan myths, I believe it was, and I was like, okay, I can literally go anywhere. I can go Tower of Fair, I can go like do entirety of Death World. It's like, where am I going? So yeah,
Yeah,
see, spraying apart that much.
It was definitely a pretty crazy seed. Yeah, it opened up real quick, and then you had, as you say, the whole world open to you.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Swerb though. Like that is just something, you just do a quote-unquote small gamble on that, and then it's just game over. I mean, I could have also getting owned like that. I also did some, if that thing would have been in like the last chest in Misery Mire, which I didn't open, I would have also been like we've been searching for half an hour. So
yeah, that's true. It's really just the risk you take when you decide to gamble on something. It might pay off huge, and you might save like 5 minutes or something over your opponent, or you're skipping exactly that one single item that you need.
Yeah.
Well, it was a great and entertaining race to watch. Congrats on your win again. Feel free to stick around until we get Swerb in here if you want to.
Yeah, sure.
He's just gonna finish up Turtle Rock here pretty quickly, I hope, for his sake. He's probably not too happy about how everything went.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't be too mad, honestly, because he knows it's just like that one item. It's not because I played bad, but just because I made that gamble, It's just, I mean, it's not great to lose, obviously, but he knows it's at least not because he played badly. It's just because he took a gamble.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, his routing was really spot on, and he played really well. His execution was great, so it's really nothing that he did wrong per se. It's just, just a gamble.
I mean, the start was just absolutely crazy. I don't know. I think it was like the mini Moldorm cave. Like, oh, what the hell? I couldn't even count all the items that were in there. There was like everything in there.
Yeah,
I was like, this can't be right. This can't be right.
We were asking for backup for our tracker because he couldn't click so fast as you guys found the items. It was crazy.
I could see that, yeah.
Alright, so we're just finishing up his Trinex fight. 2.5 hearts, pretty ballsy, but no problem for him at all. Alright, here we go, just gonna make his way over to Ganon's tower. Let's hope he also decides to go right side, or he might be looking for that big key for a while.
Please no left side.
Yeah, that as well. I mean, yeah. Also, that like all the gambles that I did basically just paid off. Like also in Ganon's tower, so yeah, just worked together really well.
Yeah, I mean, now we obviously know you could have probably cleared Ganon's tower fully twice or something before Swerb had any chance of catching up, but while you're doing the race, you obviously have no idea where your opponent is, and with how quickly everything went.
I especially felt bad after I found the boots. I was like, okay, if my opponent goes there first, I'm in a bad shape.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
So it looks like we get to see what items we have on the left side of Ganon's tower.
Oh man, poor Swerb.
Is this the Dark Magician route, though?
Unfortunately, it's not even the silver arrows.
He got those.
He has them, yeah.
Oh, he has them, okay, I see.
They were at Quakefish.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Mirror Shield, nice.
Cane of Berna. Getting all the rest of the items here. Probably gonna... Oh, he might not pick up the book.
Ah, maybe. for fun, and it's Dark Magician, right? Yeah, so he's gonna find it reasonably quickly, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst it could be.
Excuse me, Mr. Tracker. I believe you have to mark the Mirror Shield and the Cane of Berna here.
Never catching a break, that guy.
Oh, you did it on the wrong. Oh, my bad, my bad. Did it on the wrong side.
The real twist of this seed was, though, that we had a pendant pod and it had nothing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me think. What was the other one that really had nothing? Thieves Town. Thieves Town had like nothing at all of value. All right, there's the big key for Swerb. He's gonna open up the rest of the chest here just to make sure. I mean, it's kind of weird to say this, but it was a little bit of a saving grace for Swerb that you found the book in G Tower, because if he had found the book in Pod, that would have probably misled him even more.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, the first impressions will probably be, yeah, this is the worst ever. Why this one item? Not like this, you know. But at the end of the day, he can't be proud of how he played, honestly, and he has to build up on that for the rest of this tournament.
Yeah, he's definitely not gonna feel too great about it right after the race and right now, obviously, but he's 1 and 2. It's not over for him at all, and he's played great. So he really has to, you know, just, I don't know, work out his salt, get it all out of his system, and then look back and see how great he routed and how great he played, and then hopefully, you know, find the strength to keep going just as well as he performed here. Yep. Maybe not gamble on anything anymore in the future. We'll see.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I wouldn't really say that he shouldn't gamble anymore. Like, I do hope that he keeps gambling, honestly, because like that's what makes this exciting, really, and that's what can give you an edge against a better runner too, if you're willing to do gambles like that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I obviously like watching gambles. As you say, it makes it more exciting. It's just, you know, something like this happens to you, and you might be a little bit deterred from gambling in the future. Making quick work of the gauntlet and everything here, though. Having not much problems. Needs to be a little bit careful with the 2.5 hearts. I'm not sure if he picked up any more potions or fairies or anything, but I think he should be okay.
Get that book. Get it. No! Not like this.
No more time to waste.
Well, I was just looking for the silver arrows. I don't know, but I was glad that I found the book. Always good to have a book with you.
Swerb currently actually typing in IRC.
Yeah, he's not just making it exciting for our sake. He's actually talking to Jenya here on IRC.
So these are Genius type of strats, you know. He's holding up his opponents, even though he's already done with his raise, you know.
I just typed I'm sorry, that's all.
Yeah, sure. You just want that time difference to be a little bit bigger if it comes down to it.
Tiebreaker. How much time difference? Yeah.
Alright, let's see what kind of agate to Swerb we'll get here. Ugh. One so far. Let's see. Ah.
Oh, that blue ball.
Yeah. Hate to see those. Okay, 1-1-1-2. 1. Alright.
There it goes. Alright, off to the Ganon fight he goes. Butter sword and silvers in hand. That should be pretty quick, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. Should be more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, no problems at all in the first 2 phases. Phase 3, probably the easiest one. Gonna go for that early hit here. And gets it. That's the first silver arrow. Is he? Oh, barely misses the torch glitch, but no big deal. Alright, one more silver arrow to go. Ooh.
Making it interesting.
Yeah, there we go.
And there it goes. Shooting a couple more arrows just to make sure that Ganon's actually dead.
Yeah, you don't want to leave any doubts. This guy has come back more times than I can count.
That's true. Alright, and there it goes with swag.
Aww.
GG to Swerb. Finishing up this
definitely.
one. We got an official time of 1:48:47. Okay, let's see if Swerb wants to talk about what just happened to him or not. And I'm sure if he wants to, then we'll pull him in momentarily here. So yeah, looking forward. Jenya is now 2-1. Swerb is 1-2. We've alluded to that already. There's still 3 matches both runners will have to do, so nothing gained, nothing lost really. Both runners still with a decent enough position in the tournament to advance. Only 3 wins are needed in order to enter the tiebreaker race, and 4 wins to guarantee advance to the next phase of the tournament. So yeah, Jenya definitely made a big step today, but that doesn't guarantee that he has made it yet. And Swerb can definitely come back still, especially if he keeps playing like he did right now.
Yeah, not all is lost for Swerb, so even though it was a bit of a salt-inducing seed for him, he should be good to go, and he definitely has a chance to pull it back.
Mm-hmm. Kind of wait and see if Swerb actually wants to jump in.
Yeah, he might just need a quick bathroom break or punch a wall or something.
I was about to say, or maybe just go, you know, put at the punching bag.
Wouldn't blame him if he would just throw his controller at the wall right now.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's nothing really. If you take that gamble, you do it willingly.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
yeah.
In the meantime, while we're waiting for Swerb to show up, let me pull up the schedule here.
Mm-hmm. We do have plenty more randomizer races going on, even right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, we got a race between Yagamoth and Nicolachi going on Speed Gaming. That started about an hour ago, so it should be in full speed right now. We've got another race starting between Lev and Firestorm and Penguin Puff at 9 p.m. on Speed Gaming 2. So that's going to be in 2 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And then at 11 p.m. to finish out the day for the main tournament, we've got In the Name of DT racing Mr. Barry Bonds.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is definitely one to watch.
Alright, I think Swerb is in the waiting room. Let me pull him in.
One.
Oh, sorry, I just pulled you in, just like that.
We were just chit-chatting in the waiting room.
Alright, GG to you, man. Sorry about what happens.
Hey, you know, that's randomizer.
Yeah.
GG, Jen.
Yeah, so I mean, in general, how do you feel about your run in general? Because personally, I thought you did very well, except for that gamble. I mean, but that's a gamble, and a gamble's a gamble, you know. But how did you feel about your run?
I feel like really good. So I'm like, I'm not upset over that loss. Like that's just kind of randomizer being randomizer.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I played really well. I mean, there was some like minor, mechanical stuff I felt bad about, kind of in the middle of the run, but like especially early on. I felt like I played really well, and my routing was really good.
Agreed. Absolutely agreed.
As we were saying earlier, we were hoping that, you know, it's never fun to lose like that, and it's that one item that you gamble on. But your execution and your routing was so spot on. Like you played really, really well. So if you don't feel too bad about the loss, that's really good. I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, even like in the middle, like I was feeling really confident, and I was like, I thought I might have been ahead, and I was like, well, if I lose, it's either like even in like the middle, like kind of like around like Thieves Town, I was like feeling really good, and I was like, because kind of like everything was just kind of like lining up perfectly in terms of like items and progression, and so I was like, if I lose, it's either that one thing I skipped in Eastern, or like I just got outplayed, and so like if I lose for either of those reasons, I can't be upset. Like I feel like I didn't make any like major mistakes other than skipping one item, and it was like a conscious decision. I was like, "What are the odds?"
Yeah, I mean, it's not even a mistake.
There's so many things still left to play. So
yeah, agreed. Yes, I mean, I gotta ask though, why, just for time, did you just skip the chest simply because you thought, okay, you know, this is a minute I can save, just do it?
Pretty much. I was like, oh, okay, I'll open the big chest. I was like, I already have like a lot of things just opened up to me. I was like, I have the whole Dark World, like I have a bunch of stuff, so I'll open the big chest, and if there's an item left, like I just didn't feel like running all the way around to check that small chest.
Yeah.
And then have that end up being like the compass or whatever, and having to go kill the boss too.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely understandable at that point, especially like you said, so much opened up for you with the Titansmiths at that point. It's just like, yeah, what are the odds that actually there's something in there? But yeah, very unfortunate.
Yeah, it happens.
It happens, definitely.
I
So,
mean, there's
yeah.
a lot of good people sitting at like 1 and 2. And stuff right
Yeah.
now.
I was about to ask you, how do you feel about that? Like, there is a bunch of people that are really good that are actually having similar luck as you did, and now you potentially have to meet up with them. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel great because obviously I have to win 3 in a row to like clinch a group
Mm-hmm.
position. So it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, definitely. This tournament has had more than one upset before, so and yeah, just like a couple of really tough pairings in itself in the first 2 weeks, and all of a sudden, really good runners out 1-2, 1-1, 1-2, all that. It's crazy, and then yeah, one unlucky decision, and suddenly you were facing maybe Ben next week or Andy. It's like, oh man.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens. Like, it'd be really nice to get to groups, but
I'm sure. I
there's
mean,
a bunch of stiff competition, so
if you keep playing like you did this race, I have no worries. Honestly, you'll make it for sure. Like
Yeah.
that was very very good, very good.
Yeah, absolutely same. I'm definitely in that boat too. If you keep your playing and your execution like you did today, it shouldn't be too much trouble, really.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, any of you guys have any closing words that you want to get out?
Not really. I mean, yeah. Still, thanks for the race, man. It sucks really for you, for everyone. Like that, it's just that stupid gamble. Really, it's can definitely feel that. But yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of an unnecessary risk, and it happens, like I said.
But as I
I
always
mean, you
said,
got a 126, so you played. I'm sure you played extremely well. So, like I said, I can't feel bad about losing.
I had a couple of hiccups here and there as well. So I felt pretty decent, but I found the boots very very late because I did all of Thieves Town and all that before going to Hera. So I actually didn't feel too great. But
Yeah, good game. I appreciate the race. Thank you guys for commentating.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, definitely. That was great to watch.
Yeah, very enjoyable. Okay, but yeah, GG guys. Good luck in your future races. Was a pleasure. That will do it for us at Speed Gaming 3 for the day. There is more races going on. If you already told you, currently on twitch.tv/speedgaming, we have Yagamoth versus Nicolachi, and freshly starting on Speed Gaming 2, Alavan Firestorm versus Penguin Puff. So those are the 2 races that are going on right now. Yeah, I want to thank everybody involved in the tournament for making this possible. GG to the runners. Herfy, thank you very much for commentating with me. It was a pleasure.
As always, it was my pleasure. Thank you for commentating with me. Of course, shout outs to Trekker, the dude, for keeping track of the craziness that was the beginning of the seed.
Yeah, that was a lot of work he had to do there, but yeah, ultimately we got through it. But yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, stay cool.
Yep, have a great night. Bye bye.